Hello and welcome back to another interesting projection 3D video tutorial. Today we'll create this beautiful projection of a bridge, and we'll also animate a jet fighter and the smoke traces behind it, so that's very exciting. This is an advanced tutorial, so get yourselves comfortable and let's get started. Okay, first of all, let's import our image and drag it to the composition window here. So I'll click Find Camera and match it. I should point out right away that I'm going to choose a 20mm camera for this scene. Okay, so what you should do is you should move the camera so that you can orient using the left side of the helper grid. Notice that the bridge should fit right between those two lines. Okay, I think this is the best possible fit. Back to the center. Let's make the center of the grid under the bridge. Like this. Okay, that's taken care of. So then I match the camera and now we're ready to create a projection. All right, select camera and image and then create projection. Pre-compose and hit OK. 2 copies should be enough for now. Double click projection scene 2. Uncheck left side of the helper grid, click OK. Create solid using helper grid properties option will help you create 2 planes, one for the sea and another one for the sky. But we need to scale and adjust them manually. So I'll stretch the horizontal plane like that. Good, this one's ready. Let's get to the next one. Let's rotate the plane so that it's pointed at the camera, at the right angle. Great, now let's stretch that. Cool, let's check out the custom view. Alright, feels like we need to move the sky layer back a bit. And adjust it again. Okay, that's fine now. Let's disable helper grid. We don't need it at this point. Now let's generate position for the pier that holds the bridge. And also, let's create a plane on that position using generate plane from points option. And right away, I'm going to generate a second position for the deck and also create a plane. Now let's open anchor point editor. Check reposition only anchor point and move it to the bottom right corner. As you can see, the plane moved, but we have our position intact. Now we should rotate the plane 90 degrees. Set it to -90. And also set Z orientation to 4. Now stretch the plane so that it covers the entire bridge. Great, now let's just quickly adjust all the pieces. Now we need to squeeze this because it covers the mountain. Like this. Okay. This one needs to be stretched. Also, I'll set the Z orientation to 4. Great. Now let's draw a mask in the form of a pier. So I'm just going to do that. It looks okay. Let's check it. Yeah, perfect. Let's go to the next one. Now let's mask the deck in the same manner. Okay, that looks nice. Let's have a look. Good. The bridge has gradually taken on its form. That's good. Now let's mask those in-between spaces right there. If you close the eyeball, it'll allow you to work faster. And yes, right-click, go to the composition settings and increase shadow map resolution to 4000. I actually forget that all the time. Okay, let's keep on masking. Well done, we did it. Now we need to change all masks to subtract mode except for the first one. Good, let's check it out. It looks like we made a little mistake there. We'll fix that, no problem. Now everything looks great. Okay, let's get to the next one. Now we need to create the main cable and those vertical suspension cables. So to do that, let's duplicate the span layer, delete that alt mask, we don't need that. Let's set the Z orientation to 5 and raise the layer a bit. Okay, let's mask it. It's going to take quite a bit of time. Mask all those verticals. Guys, actually, let's change the mask color so we can see it better. Well, better late than never. Well done, this part's taken care of. Let's have a look. Let's check out all the parts. Great, just great. Now let's move on to the bottom of the deck. Duplicate this one, delete the old mask. Now we need to rotate it 90 degrees along the Z-axis. and it will be right where we need it. And all we gotta do is draw a mask. Perfect. Let's check it out. Adjust a little bit to cover the black area. Great. Well done, guys. We did a great job there. Now let's get to the second cable. Duplicate this layer, delete the mask, move it over to the left. Alright, we can mask it now. Perfect. Looks like it's ready. Okay, time to do the second pier. But first, let's squeeze the C-plane a little more. Like this. Generate position for the pier. Create a plane on that position. And then switch to custom view to check on it. And it appears that we have a problem here. The pier is in the wrong place. So I'll drag it back by hand. And also move the sky layer closer to the sea layer. Let's have a look. Cool. Switch to top view. Move the pier back a little more. Super. Raise it up a little. And let's mask it. Nice. Don't mask those holes, we won't see them anyway. Okay, now we need to generate position for the distant part of the bridge. And create a plane on that position. And also change anchor point. So let's switch to custom view. Set Y rotation to -90. Alright guys, let's stretch it to the pier. Awesome, let's check it out now. Let's just disable the back side so we can see it better. As you can see, we need to fix it a little bit. So set Y rotation to -89. Perfect. Now I'll go back to active camera. And of course I'm gonna set the Z orientation to 4. Done. Now it's in the right place and we can mask it now. Well, looks like this one's ready too. Now let's create the bottom of the deck. We already have a position here, so let's select that point and create a plane. And then reposition anchor point. Rotate it along x-axis. We can actually see it better from the custom view. Yes, we've been going the wrong way. Let's fix that. Then stretch to the pier. I'm gonna change the angle to see it better. Cool, let's keep on stretching. As you can see, we need to slightly raise the deck. So to do that, set X rotation to 87. Great. Let's have a look from active camera view. Stretch a little bit more, and we're ready to mask it. Done. Let's check it out. Fix that vertex. Well done, guys. Looks like we're almost finished. Now, about the cable on the other side. So, duplicate this layer, delete the mask, and move it to the left. Let's check from the custom view. Now we need to move it to the left a little bit more. All right, that's enough. Let's mask and finish it up. And we're done modeling. Congratulations to us, you guys. Now it's time to animate the camera and see what's up. I'm gonna add a key at the beginning and I'm gonna go to the 5th second on the timeline. Using camera tool, move a little bit forward and orbit. Okay, perfect. Let's pre-render. Well, that just looks excellent, doesn't it? Everything is physically accurate. It's now time to tidy up and replace projection images. So let's do that. Select all parts of the front deck and move it to projection scene 1. And then go to composition settings to increase the shadow map res. Correct the sequence. Now guys, as you can see, we need another projection copy to separate the piers and another part of the deck from the sea and the sky. So to do that, go to projection window, open projection 3D folder, select and duplicate projection scene 2. Cool. Now move projection scene 3 to the timeline. Double click projection scene 2, select the bottom and the back and get rid of them. Go to projection scene 3. Select all layers except for the bottom and the back one and delete them. Great, now everything's correct. It is now time to replace our projection images. Select projection scene 3 and replace images. Choose bridge BG. Select projection scene 2, replace. Select bridge 2. Then select projection scene 1. Replace and select bridge 1. Okay, let's see. Nice. Let's pre-render it again and have a look. Looks very nice. Excellent, actually. Let's take a look at it in full screen. Yes, that looks pleasant enough, so let's continue. Okay, so it's time to add our jet to the scene. I did the jet in advance, so all we need to do now is to get it in here. Alright, duplicate projection 3 and let's call it jet. Drag it to the timeline. Double click. Delete both layers. Then show hidden layers. Delete this projection image, projector, and projector camera. Okay, good. Now go to File, Import, and import this project file. Open it, double click Comp 1, then double click Projection Scene 1. Okay guys, now look, if I switch to Custom View, you can see the model and two projectors, one from the top and another one from the bottom. So using this method, I got ourselves a model of a fighter without any white areas. If you want to use different model, you can export the scene to some 3D software like Blender, and you can animate your own model there. Or you can use the Element 3D plugin. Well, let's get back to work. So we have our model, now we just add it to the scene. Select all those layers, copy and paste them to the jet comp. Put them like this. Now you can close these two compositions. We don't need those anymore. Now click here, and as you can see, only the model remains visible. So let's animate our jet. Create a null object and make it 3D. Press P and reset position values along all axes. Same thing must be done to the aircraft position. Let's switch to left view. Move down a null object. We need it in the center of our jet. Now link the fighter with the null object. Okay, now switch two views horizontal so that we have two active windows. Great. Now we need another object for the space orientation. Head over to Projection Scene 1, copy the front deck and move it to the jet fighter comp. Good. As you see, the fighter is very large comparing to the bridge, so open the scale parameter and set the scale value to 10. Move it closer to the camera. Great. Now switch to left view. Whoops. Looks like we moved our fighter scaling that thing. So let's fix that. Okay, now select the null object and move it up closer to the camera. Okay, that's enough. Now switch to top view and let's animate. Add a position key, then go to the 5th second on the timeline, and then move the fighter forward and to the left. Like this. Now back to the 2nd second, and move the bottle over to the left. Fix the handles. Move up the end of the path. Great. This way the fighter will pass under the bridge and then fly up into the air again. Switch to left view. Move up a little bit more. And also here. Well done! It seems the path is complete. Now switch to top view. We need to fix the jet's direction. To do that, rotate the model along y-axis. Add keys on both X and Y rotation. Press U to see all keys. Now go to the second and fix the orientation again. Great. Go to the end and do the same thing. Okay, let's see. Maybe we need to move it a little bit to the left. And then let's raise the starting point of the path. Like this. Perfect. Let's switch to left view. We need to fix the jet's orientation from this angle. Go to the second and adjust the orientation along x-axis. Then go to the end and do the same thing. Perfect. Almost ready. Just let's get the fighter closer to the camera at the beginning. Okay, this is great. Let's pre-render and see what happens. I think we need to bring it closer to the camera even more. Okay, let's see again. Looks cool, but let's tilt the jet a little to make it seem more realistic. So press R and set Z rotation value to 10. Okay, looks great. You know what? It'll be better if we just animate the tilt of the jet. Add key at the beginning, go to the end and set the Z rotation value to 20. Nice. Let's pre-render again. Can disable this layer. Okay. Switch to view 1. We don't need 2 windows anymore. Let's have a look. I think now it looks excellent. Perfect. Maybe it's better if we increase Z rotation by 12 at the beginning. Okay, delete this. No need for that now. Now let's go to the main composition and see how it animates. Great, I like it. Okay, it's time to create some smoke trails. Go to the jet comp, create a new solid, call it smoke, change color to gray and hit OK. We're going to use CC Particle World. Go to Effect, Simulation, choose CC Particle World. Uncheck all these boxes. Now guys, we need to set the same parameters to the particle emitter as we set to the jet. But it's not so simple, because the global scale of CC Particle World does not correspond to the global scale of After Effects. For example, if you move the aircraft along z-axis from 0 to 50 and set the same parameters for the particle emitter, then it will move much further and it will disappear from the screen. So in order to make particle emitter follow the jet, we need to link it to the null object that makes that path. To do this, we need to write expression over positions x, y, and z. I've created a little script in advance, so we can do it much quicker using that. You can find it in the tutorial assets folder. So select particle emitter, go to File, Scripts, Run Script File, and choose Particle Controller. Okay, now we have null object linked to particles. Let's switch to top view to make sure. Here, this is our particle emitter and this is our null object. Now we just need to copy the path parameters. Press U, copy all of the parameters and paste them on the null object. Now we can see that the particles follow the jet. Now let's adjust the particle settings. Go to Physics tab and in Animation Type, choose Jet Sideways. Open Gravity Vector, set Y gravity to 0 and X gravity to 0.030. Go to Particle tab and change particle type to Faded Sphere. Okay, choose white for both birth and death color. Next, reduce velocity to 0.20. Increase inherent velocity value, let's say to 380. Reduce gravity 10 times. And also add resistance value. Let's say 28. Great, let's take a look. Reduce birth size to 0.13 and set size variation to something like 80. Great, what else? Change transfer mode to screen. Now, in order to make traces of smoke longer, let's increase the birth rate value. Let's set it to 17. Set longevity to 5. And so now you can see that smoke trails last longer. But the smoke is too thick. We must reduce the opacity. Like so. And also increase volume shade to 100. Great, now it looks more real. Also, let's open Producer tab and set radius X and radius Y to 0. And radius Z to 0.20. Well done. Looks like we're done with these settings. Let's have a look. Oh yes, you can also play with opacity map to make traces appear immediately. Let's do it like this. And also the other side. Cool. Also, maybe add more resistance value. Okay, great. Let's move the path a little down at the beginning. Let's take a look. Same thing must be done to the aircraft position. Let's take a look. I think it looks great now. Okay, go to main comp, because our aircraft needs color correction. Go to Effect, Color Correction, and choose Tree Tone. Select middle color and make it bluish. Let's see. Now let's go to Jet Comp and switch to left view. To make sure that smoke doesn't come from the middle, move controller closer to the tail. Go to the second and do the same. Okay, perfect. Go back to the main comp. Let's check it again. I think the trail is slightly lower than its source. We need to fix that. Let's raise the path a little over here. Perfect. It's great now. Let's pre-render and make sure of that. Not bad. I like it. But the smoke trail got a little dark. Yes, it seems so. And I guess would like the smoke to fall a little. So switch to Jet Comp. Disable Jet Model to work faster. Reduce resistance a little bit. Also, let's add Y gravity. See? That's what we needed. And we can also increase the Y radius a little. Okay, now everything's perfect. Yes, very nice. Okay, our smoke trails are ready. And yes, let's tilt the jet a little bit more. Go to the beginning and set to 15. Now guys, let's move the particle layer and the controller to the main comp. Color correction won't affect the particles. See? Alright. Now let's animate the midtone. Add a key, go to the end, and make the color brighter. Also, let's adjust the trails. Like this. Okay, let's see. Yes, now it looks very nice. Well, since we're done with the smoke, let's animate the sea. Head over to Projection Scene 3, copy bottom layer, and paste it to the main composition. Then go to Effect, Noise and Grain, Fractal Noise. Remove these controllers, we don't need them here. Now change noise type to linear. Then open Transform tab and reduce scale value to 20. Go to Top View and adjust the layer. Squeeze it like this. Cool. Looks good now. Now open sub settings and add a key on sub offset. Press U to see the key. Go to the end and increase the value along both X and Y axis. Let's say 50 and 200. Great, let's see. Make it a solo layer to work faster. Just great. And also add key to evolution option. Go to the end and set 1. Pre-render. Perfect. Looks like calm sea splashes, right? Okay, on solo, duplicate this one, select camera and bottom layer, then click layer, pre-compose, call the new comp waves and press OK. Drag it to the bottom of the comp. And duplicate projection scene 3. Click Effect, Distort, select Displacement Map Effect. In Displacement Map Layer section, select the Waves comp we did before. Oh yes, double-click Waves comp. Select bottom layer and double-click Mask button. Let's change its color to see better. Drag the mask a little bit, like this. Add feather. As you can see, now the edges are not so sharp anymore. Okay, go back to the main comp. Select Displace comp and change color to luminance for both horizontal and vertical displacement. Great! Looks like we're done with the waves animation. We duplicate the comp because after applying displacement map, there are white artifacts on the edges. So that comp simply hides those things. Okay, let's pre-render and see. Switch to full screen. It seems to me that the wave's fractal map is a little bit larger. Let's check it again. Yes, let's reduce the scale slightly. Double-click Waves comp and scale it down to 10. Let's see. Great! Well, almost done. Guys, I think we went too far with the color. We need to make that jet a little bit brighter. Yes, that's better. Press U and delete the Alt key. And also make it brighter at the end. Good. Now let's shake the camera a bit at the time when the jet enters the scene. Select smoke layer and controller and drag it to the first second. Then double click on the jet comp. Select null object, press U and move all keys forward to the first second. Let's see. Yes, everything's fine. Now create a new solid. I'm gonna call it camera controller. Guys, it's important that the name is camera controller, because otherwise it won't work. Okay, close this eyeball. Now go to Effect, Expression Controls, select Point Control, 0 values. Cool, now select Camera, press R, hold Alt and click Orientation. Here we have an expression. You can find it in the Tutorial Assets folder. Open it, copy text, and paste it here. Great! Now the wiggle's added to the camera orientation and connected to the controller so that we can control the time and amplitude of the wiggle. We used the same method in the previous tutorial where we did the lightning in the gloomy town. So move this indicator to frame 19 and set key on the point controller. Then move it to frame 31 and set 0808. Move it to 43 and set 0303. And then move it to 55 and 0 values. Well done! Now let's pre-render and see what we just did. Well, I think it's great. Switch to full screen. Yes, I like it. If you want to increase the wiggle time, just press U and drag the keys forward in the timeline. Well guys, seems like we did it. What else I wanted to show you? Oh yes, we need to remove those sky pieces that we left at the bottom of the deck. So, to make things more simple, we'll just use key light. Select color here. As you can see, it's too strong. Reduce screen value gain to 30 and screen balance to 100. Now let's see if there's any difference. Yes, obviously there is difference. Okay, now let's apply motion blur to our jet. Go to Effect, Time, and choose Pixel Motion Blur. Move down Tree Tone Effect to get back color correction. And set shutter samples to 20. Great, let's have a look. Yeah, looks great. Okay guys, that seems to be all. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and that you've learned a lot of useful things. Okay, thanks for watching. See you in the next tutorial.